Okay, so today I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different from what I normally do. So recently I've been getting a lot of requests on my Instagram asking how I edit my photos and just people asking me a ton of stuff. Normally I don't really do anything related to like cameras or photography on this channel, but I've just been getting so many questions about it that I thought it'd be smart to make a YouTube video about it. So yeah, I'm doing what people are asking. I'm going to show you guys how I edit my photos for Instagram. Now this is gonna be landscape photos, portrait photos. I do a whole different thing. If you guys wanna see that video, leave a comment down below and I'll be more than happy to do that. Okay, so what you need for this tutorial, you're gonna need a computer, Photoshop, and a camera that can shoot RAW, whether it's a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. I do not care, as long as it can shoot RAW, you're all good. You can't really use your phone. You have to have like an actual camera for this tutorial that you've already taken photos, because you're probably already taking the photos and you're here. So if you didn't shoot RAW, I can't help you. Let's move on. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna open up your photo that you have taken. I took this one on spring break of the Rocky Mountains while I was in Colorado. As you can see, this is the Camera Raw 9.1. It comes with Photoshop, and if you shoot RAW on your camera, you get this nice option here where you can edit your photos in their RAW format. And I love it because it is very simple, and I don't really like to spend a lot of time editing it. You know, I like to make it quick and easy, and this makes it very quick and easy. So let's get into the tutorial. All right, so once you have opened it up, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see up here, you have your camera settings, what aperture you shot at, and what shutter speed. As you can see, I shot at f3.8 and at 1/2500th of a second because I was driving at like 70 miles an hour in the car, and I stuck my camera out the window and took a quick photo, so I had to shoot very fast shutter speed, and I think that this has a lot of potential. All right, I also shot at ISO 1000 because I was shooting at a really high shutter speed, and it says what lens it has. So what we're doing today, it's gonna seem really counterintuitive, but you just need to trust me, okay? The first step is really bizarre. You have your photo here. You have all your thingamadoohickers here. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go to the shadows tab. You're gonna bam, pop it up, just like that. Then take the highlights and bam, pop it down, just like that. This is before, this is after. Now, what we have done, we have brought back a ton of detail in the highlights and a ton of detail in the shadows. Just take a look here. This is the originals. As you can see, the clouds, not a lot of detail showing. It's kind of blown out because the sun was right there, and I was exposing for the rocks, not for the sky. So, look at this. Bam. Brought back a ton of detail in the sky that we did not have when we shot the photo, and you can only do this in Photoshop, and this is why I love this program, because it makes it so much better than just using your phone to edit a photo, and there's so much more options. And you also brought back a ton of shadow detail, as you can see down here, kind of dark in some places, but when you do this, it brings up a ton of detail, especially in the lower parts of the trees, which I really, really like. We have brought back a ton of detail. Now we need to add contrast. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the contrast and we're just gonna bring it up to where we think it looks good. I'm thinking it looks good right about there. Looking pretty good right about 62. I like that. This is before. After, as you can see, looking a lot better already. Now, this may be just a little bit less contrast than I want, but that's okay because we are going to be bringing down the blacks later, which will add a little bit more contrast in the darker tones of the photo. So next thing I like to do this early on because it's important, and it really, I don't know how to explain it. Clarity is something that it's either a hit or a miss for most people. You don't want to do it on portrait photos, but for landscapes, especially of things like rocks, I think it really, really, really looks good. So I'm going to bring it up a tad and see how that looks. 33 is looking pretty good. Maybe I'll bring it up to like 40. Okay, 42 I think is looking pretty nice. Take a look here. That's looking pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the exposure, because if you can see here, if I zoom in on these rocks here, the original, the rocks are perfectly exposed. And then now when I look at it, the rocks are a little bit overexposed and they're kind of blown out. So I'm gonna bring the exposure down just a teeny bit, maybe to like right there. I like that. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, let's take a look. Original, after. Looking pretty good. Now we're on to our final two steps, because I I don't think I'm gonna have to mess with the colors on this. I like how the colors look. And the vibrance, I don't think I need to add any saturation or vibrance. I normally like to add vibrance over saturation. That's another thing that you get with Photoshop. You only get saturation on phone apps. Vibrance, it looks a little bit more natural to me than saturation. So what I like to do is I like to bring down the blacks just a little bit. Now this is gonna be just barely anything because the blacks are looking already a little bit dark and you don't wanna crush them too hard. So I'm gonna bring it down maybe right there. -7 is looking about good. Next thing, I'm gonna kind of do the opposite with the whites. I'm gonna bring the whites up because I want the clouds here to be a little bit more white. They're looking a little bit too bland. So I'm gonna zoom in on the clouds here so you can really see what I'm doing up close. Whites, I'm just gonna bring them up, maybe like right there. Now you don't wanna totally clip the whites because like, look at that, that's totally clipping them. So you're gonna wanna bring it down, I don't know, 20, 30 looks pretty good, I think. Fit and view, looking much better. Look at this photo. Okay, original. Not a lot of stuff happening. It looks like a normal photo. Bam, after. Looking much better in my opinion. I think that this looks way more interesting to the eye and there's a lot more going on, so there's a lot more to look at, and I just think this looks like a pretty decent photo in my opinion. So if you guys want to go and mess with anything else, you can. I don't think you guys should follow my instructions exactly. Try to be creative with it, you know? If you guys want to adjust the temperature because you think this is too warm, go ahead, but I like a warmer photo because it matches my feed on Instagram just a little bit more. If you guys think it's too green, you can pull it up and adjust the tint if you want. If you guys think that the vibrance should be pumped up, look at that. And for me, that's a little bit too saturated. Okay, I think 10 looks all right. I just want to, you know, kind of give an example for you guys. So did vibrance plus 10. This is the original. This is after. I think it looks pretty good like this. Okay, so next thing I think we're gonna do is we're gonna open the image. Gotta let it load, and I'm gonna use the embedded profile instead of the working space. Click OK. We're gonna go to File, Save As. If you guys want to do anything in here, you can, but I'm not going to. Save it to my desktop as Rocky Mountain photo. Click save. And we are all set. All you have to do now is email that photo to your iPhone, or get it onto your iPhone however you want to do it. Or if you have a Samsung, you can do that also. But yeah, and then you just have to upload it to Instagram. Or if you don't want to upload it to Instagram or Facebook or I don't know. Put it wherever you guys want. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave a like. Also, you can go follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of really cool photos on there, so you guys can go and take a look at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.
So tonight we are losing this fight. Oh, help us. So tonight is no one on our side who's gonna help our souls tonight. No one here to help our souls tonight. It's on me, it's on you. Who's gonna help our souls tonight?